Hi guys, Darren here for Lowrance Australia. Package in the mail. It is my new sounder for my kayak. It's the new Eagle. The Eagle is taking over in the entry-level space for Lowrance sounders, taking over from the Hook Reveal, which has been around for a few years. Okay, let's see what's in the box. The plan for today is to install the Eagle on my Hobie, and I'll run you through the steps that I use to do a kayak install. This is the 9-inch version. It also comes in a 4, a 5, and a 7-inch model as well. We have the unit, transducer, brackets, power, and then a few other bits and pieces in here which we'll run through. So the Eagle series is bringing some extra features to that entry-level sounder that the Hook never had. There's a new screen, an IPS screen, which is supposed to be a bit brighter, high resolution, and easier to see when you've got things like polarized sunnies on. It's got a new designed transducer. It's a HD version of the Triple Shot Transducer, which does down scan, side scan, and CHIRP sonar. So that's supposed to give a bit better sonar quality and than the Hook did. And it also has some better base maps on here as well, which we can have a look at once we get it fired up. The Eagle is probably one of the easier sounders to install. On the back, we only have 2 ports, or 2 sockets or plugs, power and transducer. That's it. Right, normally when I do my sounder install, I like to break it down into 3 steps just to make it a little bit easier. Step 1 is to mount the sounder. Step 2 is to run power. And then step 3 is going to be mount the transducer. If you break it into those 3 steps, you can normally manage it quite easily. Here on my Hobie, on the Passport, I've already got a ram mount, which I normally mount my sounders on. So that's where the Eagle's going to go. So we'll get stuck into that first. Just out of interest sake, this is a comparison with the Eagle 9-inch and the Elite FS 9-inch. With the Elite being the next level up, more of an intermediate level sounder. Big differences being the Elite you can add into the NMEA network and also Ethernet, so it can be connected to a few other units and things like that, live sonar and the other units can all be networked together. Whereas the Eagle's pretty much just a standalone unit, power and its own transducer. Okay, first things first, I'm just going to mount my sounder bracket to my ram mount, which I like to use on my kayak. So we'll just use some stainless steel bolts to mount that up. So this is where I generally like to have my sounder on my right hand side. I don't find it gets in the way of casting for me, but that's obviously personal preference. So you just want to pick a spot. It's not going to get in the way of either your pedals or any of your casting actions, depending on how you like to cast. So I tend to have mine about there roughly. I can still reach it from the seat, but it's not in the way. Kayaks don't normally come with a hole for your power and stuff, so you will have to cut a hole using a hole saw. About 25mm is what you need to get these power leads through, but for the Eagle it's probably a smaller hole, which is good. And then another thing to use once you do get your power lead through is you can get these power and transducer grommets from Hobie, which means that the hole gets blocked up nicely and you won't get any water going in and out. Okay, so the Eagle, you do have options for transducers with the Eagle. You can just get your normal down scan, sort of HDI transducer, or you can get like a Triple Shot here, which does side scan, down scan, and also like sonar, CHIRP sonar and stuff. I always prefer to go for this because I really like the side scan ability when I'm fishing. The downside is that a lot of the Hobie kayaks, well, some of the base model ones like the Passport and even the Lynx, they don't allow for a factory fitting of these longer style transducers. Things like the Outback and the Hobie, the PAs and stuff do. They allow for the longer transducers. So luckily we have brands like Burley Pro which make essentially adapters, which means that we can mount these longer side scan transducers under some of the other, well, all the kayaks really. They've pretty much got a mount for every kayak, every brand and stuff to be able to mount these longer transducers from all the sounder manufacturers. Unfortunately, Burley Pro haven't made the transducer cover for this yet, but it's only a couple of weeks away. So I'll check back in when that's in and I'll show you how this has been mounted. Okay, so regardless of which transducer you have, you still have to get it from the transducer spot under the kayak. You need to get it up through this hole here, which is a factory hole, up into the kayak. And from there, you can decide whether you want to drill a hole, which is what I've done here, to get your cable back into the hull, or if you're happy just running your cables over the top of the kayak straight to your unit, then you can do that as well. I always like to go into the hull just to make things a little bit tidier as well. Okay, like that, and then screw the nut on the back. And then we have our power and our transducer. These plugs are new. I've never seen these for a Lowrance unit before. I think they're just to help click it in so that the plugs can't fall out. It does talk about here in the instructions. Just here. So it's just like a locking mechanism. Okay, so we got the sounder mounted, the transducer mounted. We've run our power leads. Now we just need to terminate, I guess, the power lead to your power source. This is going to be different for everyone, depending on where you have your battery and what style of battery and stuff. I tend to run a 20 amp lithium battery in the back of the kayak. The main thing you want to always ensure is that you have a fuse in between the unit and the battery. The unit comes with a fuse, an inline fuse, a 3 amp fuse, so make sure we use that. And then your sounder will always be protected from any electrical issues your battery might have. So I will go ahead, and my battery already has a fuse, an inline fuse and an Anderson plug, so I can remove it quick and easy. So I'm just going to put an Anderson plug on this, and then we're good to power up. Now I'm going to use an Anderson plug to connect this to my battery. It is totally overkill. These are rated to like 50 amps, and there are much better, probably waterproof connections available to if you wanted to have your battery removable like me. I do use this battery for other things, hence why I have an Anderson plug. So that's going to suit my needs. So I'm going to install an Anderson plug now on this, and then we'll fire up the unit. Fire her up. And there we go, there's that nice bright IPS screen on the new Eagle. Alright, English, let's set it up, eh? Now the Eagle is not touchscreen like the Elite is, so we're just using our buttons here. We'll configure it later. We'll register it later, and I'll connect it to the Wi-Fi later and see if there's any updates and stuff required. Okay, well thanks for watching. That's how I go about installing sounders on the Kayak, specifically the new Lowrance Eagle. I'm really looking forward to getting it out on the water and testing out the new features, the new brighter screen and the new HD Triple Shot Transducer. So if you want to know any more info, you can check it out at the Lowrance website. Thanks for watching.